Well, hello and welcome everyone to Right Capital's practice management webinar in this month of June. My name is Daniel Gregoire. I manage Right Capital's training team, and I'm excited to be able to talk with all of you today on a topic that is really important for all of us, which are, of course, all the key Right Capital resources that you all have access to. Now, this is, of course, a kind of a guide and a walkthrough of some of the best ways to leverage these resources within your firm. But just as a reminder for all of you, this is a presentation that is, of course, designed to be interactive. I am here to help. If you have any specific questions or feedback on what you're seeing through this presentation, I invite you to share it with me through the GoToWebinar control panel. You are all a big part of the developments and the enhancements we make here at Right Capital, as we, of course, really like to listen to our advisors as you're looking for different resources or looking for different features. So we're happy to be able to have this webinar. We encourage you all to connect with us as we make our way through the presentation. And if there's any specific questions you want answered, I am here to help. So I do expect this presentation to run for about a half an hour, and then we'll open it with Q&A at the end for as long as it takes to get through. So just depending on how many questions we get asked will depend on how long we stay, but we're really happy to make sure that any questions are answered. And my goal always is to make sure that all of you are confident using the software and the resources that are built into it. So if for whatever reason you're not feeling confident in an area, let me know. We're happy to take a deeper dive in any specific region of the system we need to. So again, this is a great webinar. I also invite all of you to join us this upcoming Friday for our Friday educational webinar focused on Right Capital recap of the latest product updates over the past month. Again, mainly driven from all great recommendations by advisors like yourselves. So today, everyone, though, we have a pretty specific focus. We want to talk about the resources at Right Capital and give you some helpful hints for how you can get the most out of our system and our team as well. So we first want to talk about the best ways for all of you to leverage the support and staff that we have here at Right Capital. Many of you know they're fantastic. They do a really good job. They pick up your phone calls, they answer your chats, but we want to give you some tips along the way for how you can best get your questions answered in the most timely fashion and understand where you can go to get, let's say, those quick questions answered versus spending let's say a longer period of time with our support staff, working through a deep dive on a specific area. And we also want to talk about our help center, because we've designed our help center to help you in very specific ways. And there's going to be some really great tips that we can provide you on both how to search for the information you're looking for and how to access some information maybe that you haven't seen prior to this webinar. And then, of course, we do want to make sure you're fully confident with all of our prospecting materials, all of our client-facing resources, and answer any questions that you might be having along the way. So that, again, is my goal for today. And again, we're happy to kind of steer the ship in different directions, but we are here to help. And if you need anything specifically, simply use the GoToWebinar control panel and just type in your questions to that questions drop-down menu at the bottom. So what we'll do now, everyone, as we always do, is pivot over to Right Capital software, and we're going to start working through some of this information together. So a lot of our webinars here at Right Capital are focused on the software, but today we really want you all to get a good glimpse into those key resources that we have available to you within Right Capital. And just as a point, I always like to start by saying our support team is pretty wonderful. They are here to help you Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 p.m. Eastern. And these are individuals that work with me here just outside New Haven, Connecticut. In many cases, I'm sitting just a few feet away from them, but they are a great group who really knows the software well. And for those of you who use our support team a lot, that's great. But I just want to always remind you all that if you don't see the little support live chat bubble on the bottom right side of the screen, you can actually get it to appear by clicking Shift 1 on your keyboard. So I've just clicked Shift 1 and we actually saw that little blue bubble appear on the bottom right, which is a good little helpful hint to know about. But as I open that support chat bubble, I again want to remind you all that, we are here to help Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 p.m. We also want to let you know that you are able to see every conversation you've ever had with us here at Right Capital. So what we can see is within the live chat, you can not only send us a message, which is great, or you can search our help center directly through this area as well, but you'll also see every conversation you've ever had with us. So whether it was the question I asked yesterday to Mary, or whether it was the question I had maybe 200 weeks ago to Ted, we're able to really dive into these details, talk through what questions we have, and see all the actual data from these conversations. So as you engage with us, you have a running bank of knowledge that you are building just within your own Right Capital login under this live chat. And know that live chat is great and it has its place, especially for quick questions. So maybe I'm in the middle of data entry on a plan. Maybe I'm wondering, how to get the system to show a single filer filing head of household rather than just single. Well, that's a great quick question for the support team. They can easily see what you're working on. They can log in alongside you. They can give you screenshots of the actual case study you're building and where to access the data. So those are really great, helpful hints. And one of the things I always like to bring up is that if you are sending us a message, it can be helpful to let us know not only the question you have, but the individual client you're working on. Because remember, these are individuals who can log in alongside you and help you build that plan in your actual system, giving you screenshots, showing you where to look. But many cases, we want to maybe talk to the support team. We don't just want a live chat where they respond to you in under a minute. We want to actually pick up the phone, call the individuals that we have questions for. So there's two ways I just want to remind you all that you can connect via phone to our support team. So both of those ways are actually found within our help center, which is this help icon on the upper right corner of the screen. And so again, I always just like to start this off with really highlighting the fact that we do have a great support team. They are happy to help you whenever you need it, but we do have kind of two primary ways of getting on the phone with us. The first way is scheduling a case review. And this is a really helpful way to take a deep dive conversation with one of our support team members on maybe a case study you're working on. Let's say you're new to Right Capital, you're building out your first case study, and you have a presentation scheduled for the following week, and you want to work through it with one of our professionals to make sure that all your inputs are showing up correctly. Well, that is great. We encourage you to do that, but we would encourage you to actually schedule either a 15 or a 30-minute case review by clicking this link where it says book a one-on-one session today. The reason we would ask you to do that is because if we're booking a 15-minute call or a 30-minute call, typically that's going to give you more time with the support team than just picking up the phone and calling them directly at the 888-982-9596 option 2 number. Because with these inbound calls, although we answer around 80% of the calls that come into us, the other 20% have to leave a message and we'll get right back to them. We try to keep those calls to 10 minutes or less, just out of respect for the other advisors that we're working with. And although 10 minutes feels like a lot of time, many of you know that it flies by when you're working with one of our support staff. So know that, again, if you're looking for a more in-depth case review, you can feel free to book a one-on-one session using that link. Or if you just need a quick question answered and you want to talk to somebody on the phone, you can pick up the phone and call us 888-982-9596. And lastly, you all probably know this as well, but you can pick up the phone and call us at any time using the numbers, or you can email us at support@rightcapital.com. And so you not only have access to the support team in the software itself, but in the actual help center, where of course you still have that same live chat available to you. So know that that's something you could always leverage here as well. But when it comes to the actual help center itself, obviously there's a lot of really great information here, and we have hundreds of articles here, but we have a really great keyword search functionality using this search bar at the top of the screen. And we find that most of our advisors are leveraging the Help Center via this keyword search. So because of that, I wanted to give you all some tips on how you can search the Help Center and how you can best find the information you're looking at or looking for. So let's take a broad topic like, Social Security, for example. This is an area where we not only have, income cards that we can enter for Social Security, but we have entire planning modules devoted to optimizing Social Security. But we also know this is a pretty complicated topic, with RightCapital being able to factor in a lot of really unique calculations. And so when I type in just a general keyword search, let's say for Social Security, I want to remind everyone about the types of responses that you're going to see that appear within this search menu. And I want to just kind of walk through these together so that all of you have a good idea of how to use this tool, because you'll see 4 primary categories that I think we'll want to be able to explain a little further. The first of which is a data entry style article. So this data entry article focused on Social Security income will in fact look exactly at that. We'll look at where you can enter Social Security income within the profile income area. We'll talk about the different, ways that we calculate Social Security benefits, whether it's a simple estimate or based on historical covered earnings. And we'll also talk about things like entering maybe a deceased spouse's Social Security income. So you don't have to actually enter a co-client that's already passed away just to see, let's say, a survivor benefit flowing through. So there's a lot of great information just on the actual inputs here, whether it's a divorced spouse's benefit or a deceased spouse's benefit or the client's own benefit. And even we'll go into the nuances around cost of living adjustment, for example, and where to edit those different, inflation settings that will, of course, impact the Social Security data that you see in the client's plan. So again, the data entry article is focused on exactly that, the raw data entry in RightCapital's profile tab to be able to accurately map out Social Security income for our clients. But again, we know there's a lot more to Social Security in RightCapital than just entering the data. So the second piece of this that I think is really important to acknowledge is that RightCapital also has a devoted module that we can see as I, maybe head back to my plans here and open Eddie and Amber here, just to quickly showcase the fact that RightCapital does include a Social Security optimization tool. So in the retirement Social Security area, we can actually calculate for the client how can they get the most possible Social Security income and what the optimal strategy looks like for client and co-client, as well as what do the break-even points look like for when it makes sense to file early versus taking Social Security income late. So this is, of course, an area that we describe separately from the data entry, which takes place in the profile tab. So as I visit the Help Center and I keyword search Social Security, you'll notice that all of the planning modules in RightCapital have an additional article type that's available. It says how to use Social Security optimization tool. So that how to use identifier at the beginning of that article title is going to let us know that this is actually specifically tied to that optimization tool, and it will be able to allow us to really look at all the details of this information. Everything from, how is the current strategy being calculated? How is the optimal strategy being calculated? We'll walk through all of the different graphs and charts that we see, and we'll even be able to, walk you through some best practices for presenting this area to the clients with little GIFs and quick mentions on how to switch to the line graph in the cumulative area to see the break-even points, and even describing to you, what is this graph really showing? And additionally, how do we include, let's say, taking Social Security income earlier and reinvesting it as a part of the optimization strategy in general? So there's a lot of this great information that's here to leverage for us, But again, it all is signified by the identifier of the actual article header. Here we have how to use Social Security optimization tool versus the data entry identifier of Social Security. So again, that's just a quick tip as you're looking through these articles. Are you looking at the data entry itself to help you input the information, or are you looking to analyze the information with one of the planning modules like our optimization tool? Now, we all know that many of you also are visual learners, and maybe you don't like to read long articles, and rather maybe you'd watch a video. So that's where, of course, RightCapital also is going to provide you article headers around video overviews. So for example, here under a video overview of Social Security optimization, you will also, of course, see a quick 5.5-minute overview of the optimization tool with links to, not only, get more information from our Getting Started guide or our YouTube channel, but also you have a direct access to the support line here. So again, we try to present you information in a way that is easy for you to identify and easy for you to find. And the last article type that I think is probably most commonly overlooked here in RightCapital are the knowledge-based articles. And I think Social Security exemplifies the perfect example that gives us the need for this knowledge-based article, because there's a lot of calculations that we are running behind the scenes on Social Security income. We, of course, talked a little bit about, hey, that we know there's probably a cost of living adjustment on Social Security, but we didn't get into all the different things that we're going to do, from very simply talking about the eligibility for Social Security in general for clients and what they would need to see based on 2022 information. But we also can see with these table of contents all the different things that we do behind the scenes, from PIA recomputation to just calculating the retirement benefit, to adding spousal benefits or survivor benefits or child benefits, as well as applying annual earnings test adjustments and adjusting Social Security income if there's also maybe some pension income with a government pension offset or a windfall elimination provision, as well as conversations around family max benefits, restricted applications, tax, and state tax on Social Security income. So that is a lot of information, but again, maybe you're wondering specifically, does RightCapital factor in windfall elimination provision if a client is both eligible for a pension income that's non-covered as well as Social Security income? And that's where, again, if you're maybe searching windfall elimination provision, you'd see this knowledge-based article come up. You could view the table of contents and click on any of these headers, and you'll be immediately brought to the area of the article that discusses, for example, windfall elimination provision. So here we can see that RightCapital will actually apply the windfall elimination provision when there's a non-covered pension income card entered. And this calculation will not impact Social Security income that is already being received, nor will it affect Social Security estimates based on full retirement benefit amounts. You actually need to use either a simple estimate or historical covered earnings to actually get that WEP provision applied to the client's Social Security income. So again, you can even tie directly to the SSA website to see a little more information about windfall elimination provision there. So there's a lot of information that's here for you to help you understand what RightCapital is doing. And in many cases, again, you're going to see not only some of the details of applying windfall elimination to a financial plan, and where you would actually be able to check off the different areas of non-covered pensions and how to set up a Social Security card to make sure that's included. But you'll be able to, of course, keyword search this information and access the data as needed. So again, maybe I'm in this landing page of the Help Center, which I can access just by clicking the RightCapital logo to bring me right back to that landing page. And as I type in something like WEP or windfall elimination provision, we'd be able to see, what information is coming up, right? The knowledge-based Social Security article is going to pop right up. So there is a rhyme to the reason of how articles are organized here within RightCapital, and there's a lot of availability for all of you to really hone the focus of your searching in our database to be able to get the information you're looking for. So again, maybe I type in annuities in RightCapital. I definitely want to be able to know how to enter data for annuities. I want to know a little bit of background information maybe about annuities and the different, fees that are associated and how RightCapital, calculates those, for example. I can go to the knowledge base article, or I can actually see, how do I propose an annuity income strategy or change the investment asset allocation for a variable annuity. So all this is here, as well as a video overview. So we get all of this information within just one keyword search, and we then get to choose. Do I want a video overview of modeling annuities, or do I prefer to see, let's say, a breakdown of data entry, right? Those are two very specific articles that we have. And in many cases, you'll actually be able to see that these articles are in many cases related. So you can find, the linked articles to be able to change variable annuity allocations or adjust fixed annuities based on, the existing article we're in. So with some of those tips, it can be really helpful to be able to, focus in on what you're looking for here at RightCapital and get to the correct data quickly. And that can help to reduce your time, maybe waiting for a support phone call or typing it out all of your requests into the live chat. So know that there's some good information there. I also want to remind all of you, and since you're on this webinar, you probably know pretty well that we have some great video and webinar content here at RightCapital. So not only do we have a bank of 40 or so training videos that are just quick 3 to 5 minute overviews, but we have deep dive webinars as well. So when I go to something like our webinars area within RightCapital, know that there's a lot of great information within these articles. And we're going to have, of course, weekly training webinars focused on creating your first plan, presenting your first plan, and monthly webinars, actually the next one's coming up next week, on how to monetize financial planning and essentially how to add value to your fee-for-service planning approaches by leveraging RightCapital, our RightPay feature, the client access, the vault, all the great features we have in our system to be able to really connect with those clients. And beyond that, we see webinars coming up for, for example, this one here today, or a showcase of our product updates on Friday. But we actually also record and post every webinar that we do here at RightCapital to our help center under the previously recorded webinars area. So if I missed last Friday's overview of cash flow reports and how to master them, I can simply click watch recording. I can then be brought to a new window, go to webinar, of course, that's our hosting site for our webinars, enter my information, click register, and I'm going to be watching that webinar in no time. So I'm not going to hit play because you guys are hearing enough of my voice today already, but know that that is absolutely something that we recommend you do if you, are looking for more information on a specific topic. Now, another really helpful tip is listed right here. It says to search for specific webinars, and actually to search for any specific keywords within an article, you can use the keyboard shortcut Control F. That's for PC users, or Command F for Mac users, to actually quickly pull out the identifiers of this information. So for instance, I can click Command F and I'll see this little search bar appear on the top of the screen, and I can click Roth conversions. And I'll be able to be immediately brought to the last recording of Roth conversions and helpful hints for modeling those within this list of webinars. So know that there's a lot of good data here, and there's a lot of good availability to be able to search through this data within every Help Center article. So with that being said, everyone, there's certainly a lot of different article types within our platform. There's a lot of different resources from again, training videos to webinars, but we also want to remind you that there's some great prospecting and marketing tools as well that are built directly into your RightCapital subscription. Now, beyond, of course, working with us directly, we want you to know that every login to RightCapital comes with both a prospecting URL that you can use to gather new clients within your software, as well as we provide a branded login page. So in everyone's login to RightCapital, under the gear icon account area, we're actually going to see this at the bottom. And this is called RightCapital's leads URL. This is a prospecting tool that actually can be built into your website and social media to gather prospects who visit your website, let's say, or open your marketing emails. And that URL at the bottom of the profile tab might be built into a hyperlink that says, "Start your financial planning journey with me today." They click that link. When they open this, they're going to essentially create a password to access RightCapital. They're then going to fill out those 6 initial steps of data entry for you that create a plan that we would see if we were, let's say, building a plan ourselves. And that prospect, once they complete the data entry process, is going to be automatically added to your client list. So once they go through these 6 steps on their own after clicking that leads URL link and they hit complete, again, they're added to your client list, and you as the advisor are email notified that a new client has literally appeared in your client list, specifically under your prospect client group. Now, this particular group is customizable. It can, you can have those leads URLs filter to a variety of different groups, but know that that's what you're defaulting to. So what's great about this is it's a passive way for you to build your book of business by simply including the RightCapital leads URL found within the gear icon account profile area. Now, in addition to that URL, we also want you to know that, of course, our help center is going to provide you a lot of great resources on that leads URL. So if I simply type in, leads URL or prospecting, what we're going to see is, a lot of great information that, helps us identify, what to do with those RightCapital leads. And, we'll talk not only about what that RightCapital leads program is, but again, maybe I want to see the flyer that we have built for that. We can see it's customizable. You can download it. You can leverage it. But beyond that individual, leads URL that you can access, I also want to let you know that everyone also has a branded client login. So I want to again mention that in the gear icon account customization area, if you're inviting clients, or if you can, based on your compliance records with your broker dealer, if you are inviting clients to participate in their client portal, you can have them log into RightCapital, not at rightcapital.com, but at a branded login page that shows your logo, your color theme, and your information as they're logging in. So they would never have to visit rightcapital.com to access the actual client portal. And you could also embed this branded login page directly into your website. So you could have the clients directed to your website and clicking this branded login page to then, again, access RightCapital through a branded interface with your color theme that reinforces your brand values. So the combination of the ability to have a RightCapital leads URL that captures prospects and a branded login page for those prospects to log into when they actually are becoming clients of yours in the future is a really great combination that helps you to, of course, really level up that client portal experience, add value to your services, whether it's, fee-based planning services or AUM services where you're just letting clients gain access to their, let's say, long-term probability of success. But all of these things, again, just add value overall. And we also do, again, want to point out that RightCapital is really designed to give you some great resources that you can leverage right after subscribing to our software. And so again, within this RightCapital Help Center, I also want to remind you that there's a variety of client-facing resources that are really helpful for all of you. And some of the most common questions that we get here at RightCapital are our clients asking questions around, let's say, data security or how to link accounts. And so there's lots of great, information, whether it's videos or PDFs, that are all here to help you answer those questions. And so here, for example, we have client-facing resources for the client portal. And we have great information here from articles to, again, walk clients through filling out their financial plan. If you want a one-page flyer on that, or maybe your client has security concerns or questions, again, you can download this one-page PDF on, client data security. And this might be, again, a helpful, tool for you to hand off to the client or store within their vault. But it's also information that you can just take data from. You can copy and paste off this if you'd like, but it's here to give you the information you need to communicate with your clients. Additionally, we know that, there are commonly questions about linking outside accounts or troubleshooting common data aggregation errors. So why not let the clients do some of that work for you, right? Why not, give them, maybe if there's questions, some of the, the common, errors that we get in RightCapital, and what we can do to help troubleshoot those different errors that might come up. And this is, gonna allow these individuals to maybe help troubleshoot some of their own questions potentially. But overall, I want to just mention that there's also great videos and marketing content. But one of the videos that I really like is RightCapital's Filling Out Your Profile video, which walks clients through filling out their profile, as we can guess, right? And so this is even a video that you could embed directly within your invitation emails to your clients. So if you are, looking to give client access, if you're permitted to do that by your broker dealer, this is something that is very easy to do. We can visit the gear icon account tab, visit the customization area, which does allow you to customize invitation emails that are sent off to the clients. And for those where, they're doing the data entry themselves, where they're still accessing the data entry template, you can literally type in, here is a video to walk you through the data entry process. Let us know if there's any questions. You copy and paste that video right into that email template, and voila, you have an instructional video that walks your clients through that exact situation. Again, maybe there's, flyers that you want to send off instead or include instead, but know that that is something that's there for you to leverage. And beyond just those client-facing resources, there's also some really wonderful marketing content. So again, just when I want to, kind of make sure we're all aware of, RightCapital both provides you marketing and prospecting flyers and marketing and prospecting videos that can be branded with your own information and leveraged by your firm. So whether you are looking to attract new clients with conversations around student loan planning or Roth conversions, or any of these other scenarios, we want to be able to showcase this information pretty easily under this retirement tab. So here we do have all the different flyers available to us, as well as all the different prospecting videos that we can access as needed, and we even give you instructions on how to brand and share those prospecting videos. So as I say this, I'm not lost with the fact that there's a lot of resources here, and not knowing where to start might be something that is can be paralyzing or keep us from moving forward. But understanding your clients, how you're looking to have them use the system, and what your goals are with RightCapital will really help you to understand, could you benefit from leveraging some of our prospecting videos, or utilizing the leads URL, or even just using some of those client-facing resources to help address the client's questions. And a lot of it comes down to your use of the help center and your use of the support team. So with that being said, everyone, I do want to take a minute here just to quickly talk through, some questions. I think, there's some good ones here. We have a request for, going through a webinar that specifically, presents hypothetical client presentations along with the thoughts and strategies that went into the sample case. Love that idea. I think that could be a really great one, Will. So thanks for passing that along. Definitely worth, kind of keeping in mind for future presentations here. But again, everyone, we have a lot of great resources that are here, but we want to make sure that you're confident using them. So whether it's the leads URL, whether it's a marketing and prospecting flyer, whether it's just a simple video on, or a simple video on filling out your profile or on data security, the data is here, and we're happy to help as needed. So you can always reach out to the support team if you have questions on these. You can always reach out to, if you're newer to RightCapital, your individual onboarding specialists. But there's lots of great people here to help. Now, one question did just come in too. Where was the client-facing videos on how to use RightCapital? That's a great question. So as I access RightCapital's Help Center, note that we have an article devoted to the client experience where we actually house those videos, but you can very easily just type in client-facing, right? So, and if you type in client-facing, you're going to see client-facing resources for the client portal, and this is going to have again a variety of flyers and videos to help promote these services. And again, we even provide some best practices here. So feel free to access this. You'll notice that as we're in this article, it'll tell us what article we're or what category we're in. Of course, we're under that client experience section. So again, we have actually a great webinar that we ran a couple months back on actually walking through and creating those prospecting videos, adding your own logos. So again, visiting the webinars area, we'd be able to maybe take a look at, Command F. I could look at prospecting videos and I could search for where that comes up. So here we go. Here's a video I could watch on attracting new clients with our prospecting videos. So again, that's using either the Command F or the Control F feature on the RightCapital Help Center. Great, everyone. Well, that looks like it's about it. So we'll go ahead and give you a few minutes back here on your day, but we appreciate your time and we look forward to seeing you on our next RightCapital presentation this upcoming Friday on a RightCapital recap, where we're focusing on all the great updates we made here at RightCapital over the past 30 days. One of which I'm really excited about with the actual Roth conversion updates that were made. So keep your eye out for that. We'd love to see you there, and we appreciate your attendance today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.